That'd be a real thing to kind of.
So really.
Yeah. Yeah, they were yeah, to fight like borders. A little bit.
You know, you can start to see the river valley as it gets down, the valley of the River Fleet as it gets down towards the river, and you can start to feel it in the layout of the city. And it's, you know, people tend to view cities as something two-dimensional, but in fact they've been shaped by, you know, erosion from rivers and this kind of, I don't know, I guess it represents an older layer of formation of the place before, I suppose, architects and urban designers got their hands on it.
Well, it's, I don't know, I guess just very simply, it kind of shows you how a city changes over hundreds of years, but not even that, maybe tens of years. How it changes, and what you see in the landscape today is not necessarily what was there before. And I think more and more, I don't know, I've lived in London 20 odd years now, and more changes you see that taking place, where roads are not the same and paths have disappeared and things like that. So I think the river disappearing is kind of sad, that there was a whole river through the city that has just disappeared altogether through our misuse of the river in this case, but you could say misuse of the environment, how we misuse it, and then that causes change to take place, which we don't realize at the time. But then obviously in 100 years time, the changes that are taking place now, people will say, well, you know, they let the river disappear, because that river could have been used for all sorts of things like transport and, I mean, useful things, you know, like the Thames. So yeah.
It's what it's really the thing that I love most about London is it has all these has all these layers, and it's also very like to get people to come out. it's so nonchalant about them. It's such a matter of, it's like a, you know, it's like a body, and it just has all these, like, you know, skin flaking off here and all these crazy tangles of stuff over here. And so if you pay attention and listen to the stories even a little bit, you start hearing these crazy things and seeing things that put you immediately into a completely different world.
Actually, my granddad worked for Telecom, and he told me that one time he was in a telecom building, which I believe is around Ludgate Circus area. I don't know if it's still there or not, but he said that one time the fleet flooded and came up into this telephone exchange or whatever. That's the first time I ever knew about the River Fleet, and I was probably 25 then, you know. So that was the first time I'd heard of it. But I'd lived around King's Cross most of my life, you know.
We are mostly water, and so I think that walking these paths is actually in some way tracing a memory within the city of a past that might have even been repressed. In fact, very likely, in terms of being most history is actually about repression, exploitation and erasure, has been repressed. So, yeah, I think the Fleet is one of the tributaries of our collective memories, if you like.
Water is the giver of life. It's the origins of life. There is no life without water. That's why I look for water on Mars and all these other planets. Water is sacred. The line of the Fleet is also sacred. Mystery plays were performed at wells and springs that gave birth to these rivers. Mystery plays took on the important things of life, the spiritual side of life. And you can't extinguish these things by building roads over them or covering them with tarmac, covering them with buildings. Traces remain and will always remain.
Oh yeah, you can see it. Oh, you can smell it.
Rather smell it.
You can see it. There it is.
The river.
Let's have a look. Oh, wow. I want to prop it. What's that called? It's a river. It's the Fleet River. Quite a flow.
It separates, you know, the source is somewhere it was.
Yay!
And there's a chute that goes there. And all, up until about King's Cross, it's not sewage.
Right.
Doesn't
Yeah.
It wouldn't be my impression if it was just being on the drain.
It's kind of cool though.
It's a cool drain.
Men go down there, right?
It hasn't even got a name on it.
Just lift that up and just go down.
Hang on. Put a flash in it. Oh God, look, there's a plug on it.
Can you see the roof? It's a great camera. Well, I wish I could take the ground camera. Great, it's just slower.
13, 16, always rebuilt.
And they still do massive.
They had the LCC.